Welcome to Midwest Paranormal Presents Paranormal Soup. I'm your host, Jason Bland. We're going to be talking about UFOs and alien encounters tonight. We're going to kind of take a broad sweep through the whole UFO alien phenomenon that's been going on since 1947 or earlier than that. And even if you go the Ancient Aliens route, going back thousands of years. So we're going to kind of take a broad sweep through all of it tonight. We'll be starting here in just a minute. Don't forget, there's a Q&A feature to Google Hangouts. You'll see a little thing pop up that says join the discussion. And if you've got some questions tonight or something you want to share, go ahead and pop on there. Or you can email me at jbland@midwestparanormal@hotmail.com. And you can join the Hangout if you want to discuss. All right, we'll be joining in just a sec. All right, tonight, aliens, UFOs. This is a rabbit hole, if there is one. There's so many videos, so many fake videos, just a plethora of everybody's got something out there to show when it comes to aliens. Everybody's got their theories, and this has been going on, since World War II, when the first Foo Fighters were being spotted and pilots talking about them. And then the 40s and 50s, you got with Roswell, and then in the 60s, Ketzberg, and all these phenomenon, mythology, you could even say, involved with these things, and so many different stories, and so many, also debunks of it. And there's a lot to this subject, and definitely never going to cover that in one episode or two or three or four. So we're going to have plenty of episodes about aliens. This is my first one, so take you for a ride on this one for sure. How's it going, Todd?
Good, sir. You?
Pretty good. You ready for some low def, grainy quality?
Oh, that's my favorite thing.
Well, you know it's your favorite, right? So yeah, we're going to talk about aliens and UFOs and the whole weird mix. And of course, we're going to bring up reptilians and David Icke and all that. That's a whole segment in itself one night we're going to definitely do, but we'll cover a little bit of that.
Yeah, you got to save the Illuminati thing for later, because as a Mason, I need to weigh in on that.
Oh yeah, that's a whole other night. That's conspiracy theory night, which we'll have.
Okay.
This ties into it. UFOs and aliens totally are a huge section of that. But we're going to get into some conspiracy stuff tonight. I don't want to dwell too much into conspiracy. I want to dwell more into just the phenomenon of aliens.
Yeah, well, it's why I wear the belt buckle for when the mothership shows up. I'm safe.
All right. All right. I'm one of you guys, right? But for me, I've always been interested. I was going to bring the book down here to show my original copy of Chariots of the Gods by Eric von Daniken. If anybody watches Ancient Aliens, he's commonly mentioned all the time.
That's an old one.
Oh, yeah. My mom gave that to me when I was a kid. I grew up in a very open household with open minds and discussion. And, my mom said, you should read this. It's got some interesting stuff. Not that she totally bought into it. She just thought it was, really interesting. And I think I was probably 8 or 9 years old or whatever. I read a lot of stuff when I was a kid, and I still do. And that took me down a path of just, wow, that book alone, just stuff they don't talk about in school and that. And actually wanted to be an archaeologist because of that book. Wanted to really delve into the history that a lot of in my opinion, is ignored by the mainstream archaeology. And to me, it's a big discredit to their field, the stuff that they ignore. And if you look into it, you'll see how much they just turn their heads to obvious things out there in our history and evidence that they just don't want to look at. They want the one view of what our history is. And we're not going to get into the whole ancient aliens thing tonight. That's a whole other segment. We're going to brush all of it tonight. So, but for me too, when I was a teenager, I had actually got to see a UFO once. And
I saw a bunch of them, but that was the 80s, 90s.
This was the 90s for me. And it was during a summer, and I wanted to really nail down the year of this. I want to say it was 96, or it could have been 97. I really should have nailed down the year and this, figured it out in my head. But I was in high school, and I was in downtown Michigan City. And that summer, they actually had a newspaper article about a number of sightings over the lake and that. And I'd seen some of those lights they talked about. But that same summer, something incredible, more than just some distant light out the sky. I've actually seen two UFOs, if you count the distance lights in the sky moving around. But that never impressed me. I was like, wow, that's cool. But, you know, I could be misinterpreting something. What I saw was no way I could misinterpret it. It was like, blam, it's there. There's no explanation. All right, so let me tell you what it was like. We were all standing out in the back of the yard, you know, kids stepping outside, smoking cigarettes, whatever, being stupid, but no drugs involved. I'll tell you that right now. It was actually a school night. We were all getting ready probably to go home, and we're just standing outside talking.
I can't say the same with my UFO sightings.
Well, yeah, but still. But I knew that for mine, I love mine because I didn't really do that. So it's cool. I can say I was sober when I saw my UFO. This thing was something like, it was like seeing the opening scene to Star Wars when the ship comes over your head, the big ship, and it just keeps going, or Spaceballs. That's what this was like. It was in the middle of the night, down, if anybody's familiar with Michigan City, Indiana, that ends up listening to this was down near the Elston High School area. I won't give specifics. I want to give away where the house was or where we were standing at. But this thing flew over our heads. We all, I think for some reason, we just kind of all looked up and were like, what the hell? But they didn't make any noise. I don't understand. I guess I looked up, and I think they all did too. It's just like you felt it. It just went over our heads, and it was like a cigar shape, but it was huge. It was ginormous, and it was just dark. There's no lights. Now, it wasn't like your Close Encounters of the Third Kind and, blinking lights or nothing like that. It looked like it had, kind of rigid shapes on the bottom of it. It wasn't like smooth or anything. It was blocky or a little bit, but it was like almost in a cigar narrow shape. And it flew right over heads, right over downtown Michigan City. And I've never met anybody else that saw it that night. I'm not an aeronautical person to judge speed, and I'm not saying this thing didn't zip by us. It just went just like that over us.
Show me a doll where the aliens probed you, Jason.
I did have an experience once when I was scared camping too. I should think about that in Red River Gorge, Kentucky. Me and my buddy were out there, and we saw these lights in the 4 a.m. in the morning shoot up through the clouds. But not the clouds. I shouldn't say the clouds. There's like this huge mist over the mountain valley, or foothill valley, I should say. And we're on a cliff, and a light shoot up there, and we're camping. And I don't know what those lights were, but when I see lights, I don't know. It could be anything. I didn't see a ship or anything like that, but it did freak me out. When you're out camping and you start thinking like, okay, especially if you've seen movies like Fire in the Sky and stuff like that, you're like, okay, I'm not cool with that. Seeing some weird, strange light, big, huge light in the middle of the forest. I saw that too. But the one if I say I saw a UFO, the story, I tell is the big one, the one that went over our heads was silent. To me, that one was just undeniable. That's no misinterpretation. It wasn't very high up in the sky either. That's the thing. I mean, trying to judge the distance of it, it could have been maybe at most a couple hundred feet. I mean,
yeah, I don't have any cool UFO story. I mean, well, I've seen plenty of UFOs. There's lots of things I've gone, I don't know what the hell that is, right. But that's about it.
Yeah, no, but to me, this was, like I said, I've seen lights in the sky. I couldn't explain a couple times, and the light in the forest, but those to me are nothing like that. This was undeniable, and to the people who were there, it was undeniable. It was a UFO. Right. And it's weird. Some places get hot spots, like they get a sudden bunch of massive UFO sightings, and maybe that's just psychological. But that summer there was the lights over this lake. It was in the paper. There was a number of sightings that summer, and then nothing ever again, as far as I know, in Michigan City or LaPorte County, is big UFO sightings have ever happened again like that, as far as I know. I haven't had anything or read anything, or heard anything like that's ever happened again. And it's just weird that it happens like that.
Well, I probably got to put the qualifier that I'm the weird skeptic, or not necessarily skeptic. I absolutely believe that there's other life out there. Statistically, there has to be. But again, are they hanging out in trailer parks and anal probing rednecks? I don't think so. That's
well, we're going to start the videos here soon, but you're going to see I'm getting even to there. Some people say there's 27 species of aliens roaming around this planet to 82. I mean, like, what would all these aliens be doing here? But one of my theories on it, and maybe we'll see
Starfleet. What else?
Well, we're intergalactic, but one of my theories that we'll get into, maybe point out sometimes as we watch these videos tonight, is I believe in the multiverse theory of parallel universes. I don't say I'm a full-fledged believer, but I really have a lot of interest in it and think there's some credit to that.
Good as theory as any.
Right. And it would explain all these different forms of aliens and stuff that we see as aliens, because if you're having multiple dimensions and if beings can travel it, and it's also like traveling in time too, you could get all kinds of different walk-ins, as you could call them, from different dimensions, and their home planet could be a version of our planet in another universe, or they're from another planet. I don't know, but
I guess on that, the one thing I'd have to say is, when you look throughout history of literature, storytelling, any tribal tradition, there are stories and things that have persisted. The man from the sky, the thing that flies, vampires, werewolves, the ape man type of thing, Bigfoot or whatever, dragons even. Those stories have persisted from the time of Mesopotamia and before throughout all cultures on the planet. So, right. That kind of theory lends itself to that, of saying, if there's a good enough excuse for where these things come from, something fell through a hole.
Right. To me, it's just a legitimate explanation is the aliens come from another planet. And sometimes to me, it's a bigger, better explanations when you talk about the plethora of different alien science. All right. Well, first on the worldwide weird web, I only got a few things tonight. Didn't have any latest, newest ghost videos really to show, but I wanted to show this one because it's been about 2 years, I think, since this came out. And I've never heard, and I'm interested if anybody knows, and maybe you've heard a legitimate explanation of this video at a soccer game. I'm sure you've seen it, Todd. It went around the web quite a bit. At least I think it's about 2 years old. I'm gonna play it.
My brother's betrayal taught me that blood guarantees nothing. Alive. The same.
Can you hear the audio from the video when it was playing?
I can, at least the ad.
Oh, the ad part. Yeah, that's fine. So I say, so this is ghosts running through this soccer game. Have you seen this?
Well, I see somebody running.
Right. Well, they say it's a ghost because you see it kind of like runs through people. And it's translucent. You can see through it at times. And, I'm still curious. Like, I try to look up and see if anybody's, I don't even think Snopes had anything on it.
Well, obviously the guy that was filming it was following something, so obviously he saw it. You can't say, it was invisible, because why is he panning?
No, not that it was invisible, that as you can watch it, the camera guy noticed it, and that's why he does follow it, and it ended up being on the news because he saw it. That you can see through it here. You can see, like, as it kind of walks through people. You see how it kind of disappears and comes back.
Well, that could be an alien too.
It's odd, and because it happened on a national broadcast for this country. I should say national, whatever the nationality of this country was. I forgot where it was. It was in
Okay, so that's one that was actually on TV. Wow, I got my own audio clip back there for a second. But yeah, if it was on TV, I will give it a little bit more.
It was supposedly it was on TV, and I mean, they covered it on news stations and stuff and talked about it. And that's why I've been wondering if anybody else has debunked it or come out with anything. And if somebody out here watches this video has heard something, or you got a link to something, remember, email me at jblandmidwestparanormal@hotmail.com. Let me know, because I've always been interested in that video. It's weird, and just boggles my mind something like that would just show up on a video if it wasn't intentionally a hoax or whatever. All right, so and I'm not going to do a UFO segment to the Worldwide Weirdo Web tonight because we're going to be doing so much of that tonight on UFOs. Bigfoot caught on tape June 2015. So this is something newer. Let's see here. I think this is total BS, but I will play it. To me, it looks CG. What do you think?
Something off.
Right, something's off about it. I've only watched it a few times. It just
and I'm still getting my audio back. I am. Something changed.
Didn't change anything.
Well, I talk and then I see it coming back. Maybe it's only when your mic's hot. I don't know. Teach me to stop interrupting.
Is it still happening?
It only was there in little blips. I guess if you see down in the bottom right hand of your screen, I can see the audio indicator, and when I see it popping up on your end as well. But my thing with this is where's the frames before it starts? It just goes blink into existence, and
right. Well, like let's see what happens. A minute or so before, at least. Even if you fast forward through it, whatever, just give us an idea. Just that it pops up right there is kind of eh. But I show it. I let the audience decide on that. It's the most recent Bigfoot video out. There's one more. This one's Bigfoot, Salem, Michigan, June 2015.
Closer to home.
They don't do a slowdown of this, so I have to kind of do it myself. All right, now I'm gonna back it up.
Oh wow!
It's in a trailer park. And I thought, well, was it just a statue? But I don't have it slowed down or anything. But you'll see it. It's moving slightly. But yeah, that came out. I'm like, okay, what's Bigfoot just walking around in a trailer park?
Truck.
Yeah. And then I got one more on the cryptoid front. This is recent, I believe. Yeah. Well, it's a little recent. It's from February 7th, 2015. I don't know if it'll let me play the video off of here, but this creature showed up in the Persian Gulf. They're not sure what it is. And I guess it smelled horrible. It smelled for like a mile away. Whatever it is pretty rotten. Let me see if it'll let me play the video. Can you see the video playing?
I can indeed.
Okay.
Persian Gulf. The Iranian Navy has located a gigantic mysterious carcass floating in the waters. Early speculation of the strange sea creature is ranging from dinosaur-like to a mutilated whale carcass. The smell of the mysterious sea creature traveled for miles.
I remember this one. It was an rotted humpback or...
It really is. What do you think it is?
I find it interesting is the tail. It's kind of like...
It's the spine. It was like a gray whale or a humpback. That one, I believe, was... I can't remember who debunked that, but I think it was Woods Hole Oceanographic or something. Said that's the innards of a...
See, this stuff still pops up on Facebook. Like I saw this pop up like the other day. I'm like, what is this? So, even though it gets debunked, it's still going around Facebook, like...
Oh, sure.
So I'll have some stuff. I think I have a couple of debunked things I wanted to show tonight on the alien front that still goes around the web. I'm like, here's the actual info, what this was, But let's get to let's start with some UFO stuff before we get to the alien.
Anything that's debunked by Snopes, I always instantly assume is true because I hate them so much that anytime they deny anything, I just assume it's got to be true.
They keep getting busted out too on stuff that they're.
Oh yeah, one thing after the next. It's
so it's like, you know, it'd be cool to have a site like that that really does get down to the nitty and gritty. And sometimes Snopes does. It does reveal stuff about stuff, but there's other stuff that gets posted. Whoever's writing it, they're not doing their fact checking like they say they do, or they're just manipulating the facts, you know, to argue against something.
There's a request. Abby needed you to say stuff one more time because you had like a run of them there.
Stuff.
Her night's complete now, I think.
Okay. Glad I could help. All right. So this is we'll start off with one of the more recent UFO videos. This is from Holland. After the cute tiger and bear are snuggling.
Yeah, I like the song, so I'm good with it.
On running through the forest, jumping fences, dodging trees, and trying to get away. Oodle-lolly, golly, what a day.
It's my childhood there.
A jellyfish in the sky attacking Holland? Man, don't they know that people from Holland are peaceful? Hey guys, what's going on? Dave Waffle here, and we're getting crazy here at I.O. Why? Because there's jellyfish in the sky.
Smoke some more pot, dude.
So before we start this video, guys, I know we're talking aliens. I want to know from you guys, what year do you think we are going to officially make, like, first contact?
I thought I had a better video of
the
this.
whole world
Not this
knows that
guy
there are
talking. Hold
actual
on.
aliens.
Let me get to the good stuff.
On the internet, people are going crazy for this thing because it's a jellyfish that's in the sky. People are thinking it might be a UFO. I don't really know. Now, this photo was taken by a nature blogger by the name of Harry Purton, and he was in Groningen, Holland, just taking some photos of some serious storms because, hey, that's what he does. And then there was like this giant flash. He took a photo of what he thought was going to be lightning, and then boom, that jellyfish just showed up in the photo. And you know what?
I recall seeing this in different sources.
Yeah. You know, my thing on this, there's a couple different explanations in my mind of this. And one is some kind of a meteor in the sky impacting.
I think NASA actually looked at this one, if I recall, because I think I saw it on the news.
Yeah, it was on the news. And do you remember what they said, or?
I think it was. I believe they thought it was a meteor or something like that, and what we were actually seeing is a energy dispersion of it breaking a sound wave or something like that. Or breaking.
What I thought about it when I first saw it, you know, was that's what it is, and the color is the greenish color. I saw a huge meteor once, like huge. Like, I thought the world was ending. It was coming down through the sky, and it was green. It was huge. It was crazy. Me and my buddy saw it, and he was a total.
Are you sure pot wasn't involved?
No, it wasn't. No, it was an event. It was, you know, it was on the news. You know, this guy, I don't remember what year it was or whatever. We saw it, and when it came, it's, you know, so we're like, oh my god, we saw this, and my mom's like, oh no, that was on the news. It's a, you know, a meteor, and it was crazy. I thought the world was ending, but it was that color, and so when I
saw one a couple years back during one of I can't remember what meteor shower it was, but it was a big, slower moving,
and this was
skipping fireball one.
Yeah, this was slow and green, and it just came drifting down through the sky, and I'm like, oh my god, it's gonna be a big explosion. It was nothing, but it, you know, it was, you know, it scared the crap. It was the first time I've seen anything like that. But that's the first thing I thought when I saw this video. There was like UFO. To me, meteor. That one's going around a lot still. This is another new one that's coming up a lot lately, and I see a lot of stuff about moon bases lately coming up. Seems to be a lot of interest in that, and a lot of stuff's coming out from NASA that's getting leaked, and that NASA footage, and then you got the Google, or I think Google has a moon app, right? Like they have an Earth app, and people
I don't know
stuff. There's moon, you know, there's these moon surface things you can watch, and there people are catching.
Oh, that's cool.
And then there's hobbyists out there. I mean, anybody, you know, that spends the money can take a good look at the moon surface if they want to really spend a lot of money. So there's, you got hobbyists out there catching stuff, but
See, that's to me is more believable that the U.S. military has got something sitting there. I buy that more
program
than
lasts longer than any other car companies, making it the best.
by the way, I really like this secure team site. You'll see a lot of videos from these guys. They got a lot of good stuff.
Hey, what's up, guys? Tyler here with Secure Team. Welcome back, everyone. All I can say is this must be our lucky week because we are finding moon structures left and right. And I'm thinking now that the structure we found and that you're going to see in this video has completely surpassed the structures that we put out in our last video. And once you see the image, you'll see why we've come to that conclusion. So we had a friend of ours who's a fan of Secure Team who had watched our last video.
I'm going to fast forward through some stuff, but what he's going to talk about is this is the TR3B. You know, there have been the rumors about the Aurora project. Well, that's old.
Right.
You know, the Aurora is probably even sidelined by now. If it did exist, it's, you know, they're not using it anymore. They moved on to something else. And the new thing is the TR3B, which is, again, another V or triangle-shaped craft that they say the military is currently flying. Don't ask me what TR3B means or anything like that. I haven't had enough time to research that.
The SR-71 Blackbird was once upon a time a UFO as well. So
exactly. So that somebody thinks they spotted either TR3B on the moon or a UFO that looks like it. Because, you know, if this was based off of UFO technology, it's going to look like an alien craft. So this could be an alien craft or it could be government. Definitely a lot of good stuff out there about, you know, the moon missions and stuff that NASA covered up. A lot of good stuff. I mean, astronauts, stuff that astronauts said. Or I'm gonna have a guy on from Lockheed Martin tonight that died recently. That came out stuff in Lockheed Martin. If anybody knows, in the aerospace industry is a big name. And if anybody, you know, they'd get some inside scoop a little bit on this stuff too. All right, let me fast forward to this, to the actual moon footage.
Building half stuck into the lunar surface, as well as other anomalies such as vehicles going up the side of a crater, giant roller coaster type structures coming up from the surface of the moon and going back down, as well as moon bases. And we've had a monumentally
LORC moon quick map. That's
as there should be, because the structures we found in that video are undeniable. And the structure that we found in this video, or rather a viewer of ours found and sent to us, is even more crazy. And once again, I'll ask all of you to share and subscribe and make a copy of this video. Share it with all of your friends who are interested in ufology, especially with the moon and other anomalies throughout the other bodies in space, because this is one for the record books here. One of our viewers emailed us after our last video. He was going through the LROC Quick Map Image Database, which is a giant image database of the moon, high-res images that go down to about 0.5 meters per pixel. And he sent us two images. One of the images is of what looks like an inverted pyramid inside of a crater. And we will show you that image in just a second. And the other image, once I downloaded it and took a look, completely blew my mind.
Let me see here. This is some of the footage of, or composites or whatever, with the TR3B.
The 3RTA and the TR3B,
yeah,
without a doubt, exists. We recently published a video, which you can find down in the video description of this one, entitled "Shocking New Footage of Alien Ship."
That was the one we played,
Best UFO sighting May 2015.
maybe 2 episodes.
We published this on May 10th.
2 episodes ago.
TR3Bs that was caught over Chicago, up close. And once you guys are done watching this video, you can go click over to that one and check it out, because it is also amazing up close of one of these crafts, just so you can see what we're talking about here. And some of the images you're seeing.
How long has the flying triangle in the sky UFO been out there? And
oh yeah,
renditions. So I downloaded this image.
It's the modern age UFO, if you think about it. I mean,
it's a crater with one of these massive TR3.
Yeah.
Here's the image we're talking about right
and that
here.
probably is because of the military.
Now look at that. Do you see what's in the crater? Do you see the massive triangular shaped UFO, or rather TR3B shaped UFO sitting in this crater here? It's unmistakable.
But actually the Roswell craft looked like this. If you read all the descriptions of people who saw the craft at Roswell, this is what it looked like.
On both sides. It's got identical wings. It's got a center console.
It wasn't a
Comes to
saucer.
a pointed tip, triangular shape. Although the wings in the back make a U shape. where they
Independence Day right there.
Yeah.
UFO. So there's a good chance
but
this is probably
anybody who watches
either an
tonight,
alien
let me
craft.
mute him. Anybody that watches tonight, go look up the real descriptions of the Roswell crash, and it wasn't a saucer. It was this shape. You look at the drawings that people made, it looks just like this thing that's on the moon. And maybe that's purposely done, but the thing is, they're saying this isn't fake. You can go find this site. You can go look at this yourself and find it on the moon. It's public. So it's interesting. There's a lot of stuff out there about structures on the moon and stuff, and pictures. I mean, footage from NASA that's gotten out that NASA can't deny, but doesn't want to talk about either.
Well, I said, if there's going to be something on the moon, I still think it's us. It's
Yeah. Or, well, they talk about this on Ancient Aliens. They've talked about it on other things, but the idea, if you were going to monitor humanity, where's a better place to set up but the moon?
see, the one that NASA talked about in the past that didn't talk about again was one of those, some probe back in the 60s or 70s or whatever that did a full circumnavigation of the moon. It should have taken it 2 hours to come around the dark side, and like 13 and a half hours later, then it appeared.
Right. And it's in an orbit. So how did it not? Where's the time go? And they still won't want to talk about that. And there's some things with the first satellites that were set out, or probes set out to Mars. There were some things that's happened with something shutting the probes down, and a little bit of footage with that too. I tried to find that tonight. I've seen it before. I don't think I got it tonight though. But yeah, there's some shenanigans, alien shenanigans going on with Mars as well. All right, so let's get back to some more videos here. But I thought that was pretty interesting. I love the moon stuff. I don't know why. It's to me, for us, if we're going to explore space, before we go to Mars, we should be building bases on the moon.
I agree.
Our military probably already is. Or maybe
I would assume so.
Or maybe they haven't because they know something's there and they're going to piss something off, or they got a deal. I don't know. But it would make sense. And if and military weapons wise, if you had weapons on the moon and stuff like that, that's a big deal. There are a lot of treaties against doing that, so they don't want to talk about it. Another recent one is the UFO crash in Canada.
And if it's there, we have it. Russia has it. China has it. Everybody's got one, and everybody's just going to go, what? No, nothing. China is getting ready to go to the moon for the first time. Like, put people on the moon. They're working really hard at it. And for what benefit but to say that they went there, or they know there's something there and they want to go and they want a piece of the action. So here, I'm going to play this UFO from Canada.
Hey there, you might want to hear this.
Oh, I hate her.
With the Capital One Venture.
Goodbye.
A possible UFO crash has been reported in Jackhead Reservation in Canada. According to reports from CBC News, witnesses claim that they saw a bright light in the sky near Lake Winnipeg, fueling speculation that it may have been an unidentified flying object. The rumor became stronger when photos were posted of Canadian forces in the area, with many people speculating that the military was rushing to the scene in an effort to contain a possible UFO crash site. A witness report from the area claimed that the Canadian military had vehicles lined up along the North Shore and were threatening anyone who tried to take pictures of the scene. The witness also claims that a disc-shaped craft was being pulled from the ice by military snowmobiles in a bombardier. These reports are unverified and could be false. According to the commanding officer of the Territorial Battalion Group, military personnel were at the frozen lake to take part in a training program for a dismounted deployment to the
It's always training.
port of a recovery operation.
It is. It's always training exercise.
Until further witnesses
weather
come
balloon.
forward with evidence, we can only speculate that this was in fact a UFO recovery operation. But it is possible.
I just don't like that picture. What about you? It screams fake to me. I don't know.
I could do it.
Right. It just nothing looks right like here. You know what I'm saying? Like the way that it's like it just seems off.
I can tell you what's off.
Yeah. Go ahead.
The dark balance.
Yeah. I'm not a photographer person, so yeah, you can word it. I
look at the object itself and look at the quality of the black in the disc. It's black. Now look at the snowmobile. Look at the quality of the black. It's blue.
Yeah, there you go. That's brilliant explanation. To me, I couldn't put that together in words, or just something subconsciously my mind goes, no. Yeah, like, you know, you spot it and you're able to talk about it. That's awesome. I can feel it. Like I can look at it. Like eventually I'd work that out, but not as quickly as you did. You know, but yeah, to me it right away, I'm just like, that just looks like a composite and not real. And they probably were doing training exercise and some jackass went up there and started taking pictures and they're like, get out of here.
Yeah. Well, the biggest thing is I guess the advantage I have is I'm on a monitor that has the color depth to see those differences.
Well, I can, as soon as you said it, I'm like, oh yeah, that's definitely, you know, I'm seeing it. Something looks off in my mind. I can tell it. I just can't, you know, I'm not an expert at it, so I can't figure it out totally, but I've seen enough fake stuff and done enough compositing myself when I took the computer graphics that I can, it's just like, I would just, there's just a look to computer graphics. That's just, I always know it. You know, I always can tell, but I'm not an expert, you know, but I am pretty good at spotting it usually.
Well, the thing is, I'm far from the expert. I'm a photographer.
Yeah.
You get these guys that do Photoshop for a living and wow.
All right, here's another one that's been popping up recently. I don't think it's really recent, but it's been popping up on the web a lot, or at least on Facebook posts and paranormal groups. Is this 14,000-year-old Baltic Sea, I believe. Yeah, Baltic Sea UFO that was spotted, or it's in underwater. Like, if this is real, I mean, come on, there'd be international. I've seen this picture about it before. It looks like the Millennium Falcon to me.
It sure does.
The 14.
But this is the first time I saw these pictures of it.
Spaceship been found at the bottom of the Baltic Sea.
See, but that's the thing. The one thing I will say is, you know, they even have a picture of the Millennium Falcon. That's hilarious.
Oh, they do.
But if you are going to hide on this planet, that's the place to do it.
Oh yeah, crashed Millennium Falcon has been spotted at the bottom of the Baltic Sea.
I didn't watch this whole video because I've seen other videos of it and I just saw this one. I'm like, all right, I'll put that up.
Sonar of Ocean X, a private treasure hunting company.
Yeah, I've seen this sonar. That's the first I've ever seen of it. And I don't think all the other pictures you see are fake or composites. So think what it looks like. I want to see, though.
It looks something like a UFO. Also, note the street marks behind it. Look at the way they're shaped. It looks like whatever this thing was crashed and skidded along the ground before coming to a stop. But this definitely gets weirder. The team that actually discovered the object noted that when their boat was directly above the object, their electrical equipment, or some of it, actually stopped working. Then, when they sailed away, the equipment magically just started working again. The dive team that explored the sunken object also explained how the object appeared to have steps leading
I guess that is supposed to be a real picture of it.
Shaped entrance on it. Parts of either the object or rocks around it.
Yeah. Let me see a diver next to it. Maybe they didn't want to go near it.
14,000 years old. Still, some experts say this could completely be a natural geologic rock formation.
The steps?
But, to me at least, the way it stands out on a sonar scan, the steps and entrance the divers note, and the apparent skid marks that trail the object makes the theory of a natural geologic rock formation.
I don't buy that it's natural. I don't buy that. I'm not saying that it's a UFO.
Yeah.
There's only theories about what this object actually is. It could be an alien spacecraft. It could be something else. Unfortunately, the waters around the object are really muddy and are hard to see through. The visibility is really bad. So it's hard to investigate exactly what this object is. It's also at a depth of 90 meters, making it even more difficult.
That's a good challenge.
That's what I was saying.
Right now, the team that originally found it, Ocean X, is waiting for more funding so they can figure out what this object is, or they can do more research and study and dives on it. But until they can do that, or someone else,
And there goes the GoFundMe page.
Yeah, you want the answer. You get James Cameron excited about it because all of the stuff he did with the Titanic, he's got the resources.
He's got it in his garage, man. He's ready to go.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, come on, just tell him there's some blue aliens with some tails down there, and that guy's going for it.
Yeah.
Somebody needs to show James Cameron this video, man. We'll get to the bottom of this. I mean, the guy went after the Titanic. Come on. Here's another one, but we're not going to play it. All right. So then I got some of the top 20 stuff, top 10. I don't know if I want to do the top 20. It's a lot. How long is this video? Bizarre UFO sightings. Let's see how long this one is. Yeah, no, 14 minutes. No, well, I know there's a shorter one that's got some good stuff. All right. Let's see. Oh, here we go. There's some NASA stuff. I love the NASA stuff. Oh, here we go.
Hey, it's these guys again.
Little John running through the forest, jumping fences, dodging trees, and trying to get away. Oodle-lolly, oodle-lolly, golly.
This is 10 minutes. I might speed through some of it, but.
How far can I control my mind?
Flight Cousins here, third phase of the moon, going over some footage. It's been around on the internet for quite some time now, but it's news to me. I've never seen these images before from NASA, Hubble. We have the links below. We're going to be going over these photographs, enhancing, sharpening the image, seeing what this is all about. It's interesting to me. That's why we brought in Dr. J. Andy Elias as well to get his opinion for the first time.
I see
I don't
if they
think
fast
Dr.
forward
J
to
has
some of the
seen
better
these.
stuff. They talk about this stuff a lot. You can look this up. Mind-blowing NASA UFO evidence. There's some really good pictures. I don't want to play the whole video.
Now let's
but
get to the second photograph. Let's play right now, John. Go ahead. Take a look at this. Right to the left of it, something straight out of the movie Aliens.
Exactly, and this is what I love the most. This is clearly a cylinder-shaped craft of anomalous, clearly very large in size, and it seems to have little sections with the top being a cone, similar to our rocket, but you've never seen.
And one reason I wanted to play this one is that this is very similar to what I saw, except maybe a little darker because it was nighttime and there was no lights on it.
Yeah, but couldn't that be a rocket? We've had enough different failed launches of a satellite booster or anything else.
But they track that. They track that. They actually try to keep the station away from a lot of the stuff that's junk and that's hanging around.
Right, but that's not saying that NASA doesn't know what it is clearly, and they're not commenting because, well, here it is, or that belongs to France or whoever,
or it's military.
Yeah, that as well.
A color of a rocket in.
Yeah, they say it looks like a rocket too, but it's similar, like the cylinder or the cigar-like shape to what I saw. I don't see if they had any other stuff. This was the one I thought it was. This is another one.
It's the propulsion or something like that.
I see. I had another top one from NASA I wanted to find. I love the like I said, I love the NASA stuff that comes from NASA.
Yeah, it's when the NASA does we're not going to comment on that. That's when you go,
my taxpayers' dollars paying you to comment on that, assholes. This is giving you examples of what it looks like with astronauts and stuff on the moon. You saw a little bit of that when I get, this is a 10-minute video. I don't want to play all of it, but I want to get some of the good stuff. Come on. Where does it start? Okay. What NASA doesn't want you to know. I say, oh, we got to hit play. There's a number of multiple things going on now. There's debris and stuff, but what you look for is that sometimes these things zip by faster than what debris is supposed to be doing or whatever.
Again, this view recorded on the land.
Bulkhead. The object in question, I think, is going to come in view, and it appears to us that it's already there. It was just
see, this is the NASA feed. They're talking about it. They'll see it.
Right.
There was no rating on it. It's just sort of floating behind the IUS. Looks like it was already there before the deployment.
I got another video I hope I can find later.
If I can make it out on this monitor.
That an astronaut goes, "Oh my God," and she gets like reprimanded like right away, like, "Don't get excited, be quiet." And then later on she had to be like, "Oh, it's just the lighting on the space station I got excited about." And then there's the other feed that shows what she saw, which is this thing flying by.
Right.
That was the moon. By the way, people, go on Netflix. There's a whole documentary on like UFOs and the moon. It's really good. It's a space station. That's big, whatever that is. It looks like it's got to be, but I don't know. I don't think that's this one, but I love the one where the one thing's flying and then the thing shoots out at it and it zips away. I don't know if that's this one. I don't think so. I was trying to find that. I was hoping it's going to be on one of these videos. That one to me is one of the most interesting. It's like, are we shooting at these things? I don't know if it's on this video or not. Hey, look, an orb.
Space Ghost.
Now, what are the lights? What's going on, you know? It's like something's coming up to meet the thing that just flew by, and there it is. It's still kind of floating out there. I've seen this one before. It's pretty weird. It's just spherical. Here's a cigar-shaped one. I've seen this one before. I don't know if they play the one too, where they got all these like weird, perfectly circled masses flying through the atmosphere. And recently, scientists have come out that they do believe there is plasma. What do they describe it like?
Yeah, the free-floating bands of plasma.
Right. Yeah, and that's some of the explanations of some of the stuff I saw. I thought that was pretty good. There it is. There's these round things here. I think they're trying to see that it's plasma, and I believe that it could be possible.
That looks more to me like that was footage from a microscope.
It is a NASA feed, though. I've seen it. See, that thing just flew by, man. I don't know if I want to mess with the video or not. That thing had a trajectory and then turned. That's the stuff that interests me. This is a shadow, I think, on the moon of something that they're following. I don't want to fast forward too much through this video. There's a lot of good stuff. This is one of the better ones. Had a lot of the NASA stuff. Oh, the structures on the moon. This is a famous one. The tower.
Yeah.
I'm hoping they have that one where the thing shoots at the
Saturn.
What?
I think that's the meteors hitting Saturn on there.
Yeah. Yeah, some of these we definitely could find some explanations for. That's the meteors hitting Saturn, but I think they're wondering what that thing is that's was flying around here and then disappears. It's like right there. It's a beautiful light display, though. The second thing I always wanted to be when I was a kid, besides an archaeologist, was a astronaut.
Of course. Who didn't?
Let me see. There's a lot of that one. Let me go. I want to try to see if there's any more of that one footage I was wanting to know. Oh, I've seen this one too. Here it is. Here it is. I think this is the one. Someone's going to shoot up at it, and it takes off here. It takes off, and you'll see something go. Whoosh. I love that video. Love that video. And it makes you wonder, are we shooting at these things? And God, that's got to be a diplomatic nightmare. And that's the problem if our government's keeping this secret. You know, well, what damage are they causing to alien relations? Or, you know, is there more we need to know why they are doing this, you know?
Yeah. Well, but again, people in large numbers are panicky, stupid animals.
Yeah. So we've done UFOs and one more NASA confirmed UFO moon footage. Oh, is this the one I think it is?
I guess your biggest thing you need to remember is that the Vatican now has a ambassador for alien species.
And they keep saying, it keeps popping up on the internet that the Vatican and the Pope's going to come out and reveal all and totally admit that there's an aliens and, you know, the government's hiding it and Pope's going to be a mediator. I mean, this is the kind of stories. I'm not saying there's any truth to those at all. It's just the craziness on the internet, you know.
Is it Nostradamus or who said there's, or was that that's the Fatima prophecies, isn't it? There's 112 popes and that's it.
Yeah, but we're past that, aren't we?
No, this is 112 right now, I believe.
Right? Okay, I have to look that up next time. I didn't put Fatima on here because that's more of a religious thing, but some people do put that with the UFO thing too because of all the things. Fatima is an amazing thing. Definitely, people go check it out. What was that? Was it early 1900s, right?
I think 60s. I thought.
I didn't think it was that late. I thought it was early 1900s.
I'm gonna have to look now.
Or it might be like 1920s, 1930s. I don't know. It's been a long time ago. I know the last woman died, and she was a kid, so it had been a long time ago. She was the last one died like years ago, and whatever gave her last statement on what the Virgin Mary, because they thought they were seeing the Virgin Mary, told her as a prophecy, and she told it to the Pope because she became a nun. So I thought it was early 1900s. I have to do my research back on that one. I don't remember right off the top of my head. Fatima to me is definitely could be alien related.
1917.
1970. I was right. I thought it was early 1900s. Yeah, because she passed away and all the other two other kids died, and they had horrible lives after that. They didn't end well for them. Fatima. Definitely look up the story. It's pretty crazy.
First was she had a vision of hell. Second was secret of that World War I would end, along with the prediction of another war during the reign of Pope Pius, which was World War II. And the third secret was written down in 1944.
I always heard that she told like the last thing, like the last secret to the Pope.
It was announced Cardinal Sando in May of 2000.
Maybe that was it. I know she did say she became a nun. I thought she became a nun, the last one, surviving one.
Still reading.
Okay.
Go on with your video.
Okay, let me see. Do a couple. By 11 o'clock, I wanted to move out of the UFO sightings and stuff and move into the alien encounters and what. There's so many videos. I mean, when it comes, there's so many videos of UFOs that people catch and all this stuff. I could go on all night just UFO footage, but I'm trying to get a broad stroke of kind of everything in the UFO field. So we've been watching some UFO stuff. Let me see if I find one last good thing to find of a UFO footage. The turkey. This one, I do like this one here. I want to play this one. This was recorded, I believe, I don't know if this tells us about it or not, by a security guy in Turkey. It was on night shift, if I remember right. This is a landed UFO. And your grainy quality right there. May 13th, 2009.
Yeah, 3 different sites have apparently got 3 different accounts of the third prophecy. So
the third prophecy, as I understood it, was never released. It's still a secret that the Vatican has. That's the rumor. that they're the ones that have the secret, that she only gave it to them. But those kids were beaten and questioned, and their lives were horrible after the whole debacle, everything that went on around them. And I think you can see some people, see the movement here, like this might be an alien. Oh, here they are. Here's the aliens, right? That's right. They're walking right out there.
Oh, back to our triangle shape.
Yeah, yeah. I think then you do get to see this thing fly, and I don't know if this is the footage of it flying. But if anybody's recorded, I think this was a cell phone. With your cell phone at night, it's, you're not going to get much. You would get the lights and stuff. I don't know if it's cell phone or camera. I have to find out. Might be a camera. A cell phone would be even worse than this, I think. But I've seen it. I saw this footage. It came out a couple of years ago, and I thought it was pretty interesting. And the guy wasn't anybody in the UFO field or anything like that, and just a security guard at a place in Turkey that took that film, and they never were able to debunk it, as far as I know. And I thought that's pretty. I love you see a light in the sky, it's something, but you see a UFO landed and the aliens coming out. Okay, there we go. That's the kind of stuff I want to see. To really start talking. We're almost on 11 o'clock hour. Get done with UFOs. This one is another Canadian one. I don't know if it has the year on this one. It's recent, somewhat recent, I think. 2014. It was published November.
On November 17th, Blanche Ward of Charlottetown sighted an unidentified object flying slowly across the sky.
How do I get that off?
She initially spotted 2 trails of smoke before identifying a small red dot with her camera. She said the object remained in the sky for 1 or 2 minutes before dropping below the horizon and out of view. Ward immediately suspected that it was a meteorite or a piece of space debris. It is presently unconfirmed what the object was, but if it was a piece of space debris, it would not have landed anywhere near Charlottetown given its apparent altitude. Some have speculated whether this was some sort of satellite that may have been shot down by the satellite killer.
Yeah, Russia has their satellite killer
that Moscow may have launched to challenge it.
I'm not going the whole video, but there is the whole secret space wars that they say are going on right now between us and Russia and China. That we're trying to kill each other's satellites, and not, without, it's like a secret backhand war that we don't want to start a full war, but we want to see how well we can take out their stuff, and they want to see how well they can take out ours. So that could have been a satellite that got shot down, and that's why nobody wants to talk about it.
Right.
And then this is Russian jet fire crosses UFO before crash.
Hay una polémica por esto. Algunos hablan de un misil y otros tienen la tesis de que es un ovni.
La secuencia muestra una sorpresa adicional que provocó que expertos aseguraran que el accidente se produjo luego que un ovni o un misil rozara levemente contra una de las alas del caza.
That's from air show.
Por debajo de la aeronave en dirección contraria y de una velocidad similar. Lo cual, según los
they say
expertos,
it's
pudo
UFO,
haber
but
causado
to
una
me that's a
alteración de la
missile.
carga aerodinámica que provocó que los pilotos perdieran el control. Aunque algunos expertos aseguran que se trata de un misil tierra-aire, para otros no cabe duda que se trata de un tipo de ovni conocido como tabaco.
It's interesting too. A lot of stuff you can find, and we're going to talk about them when I get into the alien encounters here in a minute. The Russian stuff that came out of Russia after the fall of the Union. You know, you talk about being a UFO researcher in America and worrying about Men in Black and stuff. Well, in Russia, there was a real risk. There were, you know, when all the UFO stuff started for us, it started for them. And UFO investigators had to do it all in secret for fear of going to jail. You know, the Russians weren't going to tolerate any talk about it. And then they opened up. Some period in the 60s, they let them have there was a year where they opened up and they had conferences and they talked about the UFOs, and they had like our blue book. And then people started making reports of what they're seeing. Well, Russia shut that down pretty quickly when some of these reports were coming back. It turned out to be their secret stuff, and they didn't want the Americans to find out. So then they went even worse. And then they just tore apart anybody in the UFO field. Now they're all out in the open because they thought the government was going to be cool. And they started jailing people, and they shut the whole UFO thing down. So then it went all quiet again, and until the fall of the Soviet Union. And then a lot of interesting stuff came out of Russia.
Well, see, that's the thing. If the information is going to come out, it's going to come from RT or Al Jazeera or something like that, that they know by releasing it, it's going to piss off our government. And that's when it's going to come out.
Well, Al Jazeera, they, on the whole Islamic issue, in that they have their own don't want to talk about it deal too. The governments that have come out about it are Canada, somewhat, at least some ex-Canadian officials, and I'll have some video on that. And officially France has admitted to the fact that UFOs are a real phenomenon, and that our government's hiding it. That's an official statement by the French government. And then, the French as well, F you. Basically they're the first. If anybody was going to do it, it was going to be the French.
Let me start a international incident. If you've got proof, you cheese-sucking surrender monkeys, show it.
Yeah, well, the French probably came out because they're pissed off that we're not sharing as much with them. And I think that's the main reason. Because keeping this stuff secret and having international relations with your allies and keeping it secret from them is not going to make them happy. So let's move on to the alien encounter front. No breaks tonight. There's a lot of stuff when I'm trying to paint this broad brush of the alien, phenomenon. So now we got alien encounters. We're gonna get away from the UFO thing and more down to the physical aliens. There's a lot of, there's so many videos of out there of people and aliens, and right away you'll spot, ones that are like, oh, that's just silly. But then there's some other ones. It's like either it's really good CG work or maybe there's something to it. This first one I'm going to play is Alien Caught on Tape, Strange Creature, UFO Alien Scary Video, Paranormal Camera. This guy was doing like a Skype or something like that, and this alien shows up in the background. I think the person he's on, this is a foreign country or foreigner. I don't have all the information on this, but it's been populated. It's been on popped up on my paranormal sites and stuff that I belong to quite a bit over the last year or two. So I thought I'd start off this one. You're going to see the alien behind this guy in the doorway behind him.
We'll keep it short
after
to keep good going. New York Life.
It's right in this area. See it? To me, it screams CG. But like I said, I'll let the audience decide. But this is a very popular video out there. Nobody's come out to debunk it or anything. But somebody told this guy while he's watching the video, if it was true, I'm sure that freaked him out. But let's play it one more time. I'll play it back just so people get a look at it. Oh, yeah, I hate how it does that. I think it just went to a different video. Yeah, it did. Yeah, we're going to talk about that guy in just a second. Hold on.
There's some juicy new.
How old is it?
Did they have a date on this one? It's been out for a couple years at least. What's the original posting? Published April 18th, 2013, at least on YouTube. It could be older than that.
Yeah, the weather since 1999.
Oh, yeah. No, it's not that old.
Well, I'm saying that's the worst.
Yeah. Well, hey, it is a foreign country. I do know that. So, they might not have the best webcams in their stores. I don't know. But yeah, grainy quality. Seems to come with the territory. All right. Come on, back up. Yeah, shut up, YouTube. All right. All right. Then I've seen this one now. Oh shoot, let's get back to aliens. Boyd Bushman worked for Lockheed Martin, and he came out with a lot of stuff right before his death about aliens and his snippets encounters. Not that he countered aliens, but he saw some UFOs and had inside knowledge working at Lockheed Martin. He's not the only Lockheed Martin person to come out and have stuff about that either. There's a number of others. But Boyd Bushman came out right before his death and did a number of interviews. The most one that has got a lot of people in the UFO world pissed off or arguing over is the last video he did before he died, where he said some friends of his, some insiders, being at Lockheed Martin, he knows people, gave him some pictures of some aliens. Now, Boyd Bushman, I've watched a lot of interviews with him, and he really liked to talk about anti-gravity and the technology. He was really into the technical stuff about aliens. That's what fascinated him, is how did they make their ships fly and all that. And he tried to get inside knowledge when he worked for Lockheed Martin about what people knew about it. So he always kept this close to the belt when he worked there, and when he left, and he would start talking about it. So it's not like he worked at Area 51 or he was working with the alien projects. He'll admit that. He just had the connections. Well, I think somebody played him sadly, before he died, because we'll watch this video here. It comes down to the picture he has of an alien. When I first saw it, I go, no.
Oh, there's some juicy new video in
Let's get past these guys here. Probably had a better video of this one. Shoot.
And
these are craft that they gave him.
He says when it's not turned on, this is the craft taking off, turned on. As it's taking off, you'll see 3 versions of it for some reasons he can't explain. But then it gets even better, because these crafts were operated by beings, and he has pictures. Let's take a look at his video revealing these pictures.
I asked them to tell me about who was flying these things. He therefore said, fine, they're approximately 5 feet, 4.5 to 5.
For one, the people that whoever recorded this video with him didn't do the privilege of actually making a video and then posting in the video the pictures that he's trying to show. Instead, he holds them up, which, that's worse. But even holding it up and looking at that thing, I go, I've seen that before. And before I even looked up to see about, hoax on this matter, I know I've seen that before at Walmart. And it turns out the hoaxers, the people that are the debunkers, they right away caught on to that too. Let me see if I find the thing that explains the hoax video. Oh yeah, and he also claimed to have visited Area 51.
Right up 2 videos.
Oh, there. Great, thank you. It was the line down the middle of the head that I was like, I know, I've seen that before. It's not real. And the videos he talks about, oh, look at its vertebrae on its back, its neck, these different pictures they took. So you see his pictures there, and then this is a doll that was sold at Walmart. I remember this. I mean, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
I don't think Boyd Bushman knew that. I think he was being taken by some people because, this is a guy for years now trying to find inside sources, and that when he worked at Lockheed Martin and then doing it after he left, that he's not in Lockheed Martin. He doesn't know who's inside anymore. And I think somebody played him at the end, and maybe the government played him just to make it all everything he'd been saying before this. Because before this last interview, he had been talking about anti-gravity technology and seeing some really interesting things and theories and stuff that he found out about UFOs. And so he'd been talking for a little while about this. And right before he died, he really wanted to come out with some really good stuff, I think. And I think they played him.
How do you eliminate a security leak? You discredit them.
Exactly. And I think that's what this is. I really do. I think, and this poor old guy totally looks like a fool or played for right before his death. You know, it's sad to me because, you know, if you listen to a lot of his interviews, and I did, because I'm totally fascinated by the anti-gravity technology. It's really interesting, the stuff he says, you know, and he seemed like a really genuine, nice guy that wanted to just get some of the truth out there. I honestly think he got played, and I think he got played by somebody in the government just to discredit him right before his death, because he did want to make one final, like, out, like, this is everything I know and blah, blah, blah. And I think he was trying to get some good information. He never had any evidence. That was the problem. So they're like, here, we'll give you some evidence. So it's sad that, you know, if that's the truth. How did I get it? All right. So there's the Boyd Bushman thing. Here's another one. This was taken by Apollo 8 on the moon. This is an alien on the moon, walking on the moon, they believe, or a shadow figure or some kind of on the moon. Like I said, I love the moon stuff. I love the NASA stuff.
My mate Shane here throws big rocks for a living, because that's a thing here in Ireland.
A couple videos down where the Mexicans disclose something. Yeah, I'd buy it out of them too.
Yeah, yeah. Because they're probably pissed off we're not including them enough. It does look like kind of a figure standing on the moon.
Yeah, and the scale would be kind of ginormous, though.
That's what I thought of it. Was it a giant on the moon? And you see a shadow and everything, and it does look like a human figure, but like you said, I would think it would be huge. Because look at the craters, and I don't know. It would be big. Here, let's go to your Mexican disclosure of alien artifacts. This came out recently.
Remarkable artifacts have emerged that clearly show an extraterrestrial connection with the ancient Aztecs of Mexico. The artifacts, which were hidden for decades by the Mexican government, appear to confirm that extraterrestrials were a major influence in the Aztec culture. These priceless relics,
which I do believe.
Yeah, see that when you get into the ancient aliens thing, when they found the Aztec little golden figure, scaled it up, and it flew, and things like that.
Yeah,
it's pretty hard to deny.
Yeah, I mean, and some of the when it comes to astronomy and the stuff that they knew, for being a, you know, supposed to be a sticks and stone kind of culture, you know, for some of them they go way far back. It's just, you know, to me, this is the stuff I talked about when I was a kid. I wanted to be an archaeologist because I felt like so much stuff was being just ignored by the mainstream community.
Yeah. Well, the theory that we're not from around here, dude. You know, there's your whole missing link theory, and where did Homo sapien come from?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's no more clear of a UFO than that, but part of me thinks, you know, Mexican, you know, all these things they say came out of the secret government. Well, there's also something, if you go down to Mexico, or you go down to Peru, like, and stuff, or Nazca lines and that, they're selling all kinds of stuff they say is ancient alien artifacts to tourists.
Yeah. This is thousands of years old. I just made it yesterday.
Yeah, that's exactly it. I mean, if there's, you know, these people don't have a lot of money, and they make their money off American tourists, so they're definitely gonna make a lot of stuff. And I've seen some fake stuff, definitely, that you know some tourists bought that, you know, even on aliens. I thought, well, come on now.
The crystal skulls is another whole.
I got to actually see and talk to the guy who has the Mitchell Hedges skull when he was in. He lives in Michigan City, I think, or at least.
Really?
Yeah, he got the Mitchell Hedges skull was given to him. It's beautiful. I mean, it's incredible to see. Now, is it real? I don't know. And did Mitchell Hedges pull one over on a lot of people, and even his own daughter? I don't know. There's a lot of debate on that one. But it's an incredible piece of work. Whoever did it, even if it is a hoax, wow, they're brilliant. Just to try to make something like that's very difficult. The way, you know, the detail to this thing, and the you know, and there's been a lot of study on the Mitchell Hedges skull. You know, people criticize Mitchell, I can't think of the woman's name, the daughter who had it for years, but she never held back. She gave it out. She let them, you know, do all kinds of different tests on it. You know, so, and she was always open about it. So, and they couldn't explain totally how it was made, and it had some really weird properties. There's the Max crystal skull. I got Joanne Parks as one of my Facebook friends, and I've talked to her a couple of times. There's another cool crystal skull out there.
There was recently a documentary about it, I believe.
Yeah, well, there's been a few, but yeah, there's a new one out, I think, too. All right, let me see what we're gonna move on to next here.
They tried to reproduce it.
There's been tried to be reproductions, but nothing's ever been made with that's come as out like the Mitchell Hedges crystal skull. Nothing has. And then if you see any of the other crystal skulls, none of them usually have a detached jaw, and the Mitchell Hedges does.
That's one of the documentaries I just saw. It's like The Truth About the Crystal Skull one. I believe it's a Netflix one.
Yeah.
It's one that does have the detached skull. It was reproduced in China by somebody there's a company that makes crystal skulls.
They finally did, yeah. Yeah. I mean, sure, you know, you got the machine power to do, but this, you know, when this thing came out, it was the 40s.
Right, absolutely.
And it wasn't you know, there wasn't people making these kind of things. And the Mitchell Hedges was one of the earliest ones to really get attention. There was other ones before Mitchell Hedges, but nobody really cared or paid attention to them. These things sat in some museums and that. But you know, now there's been a lot of fakes and stuff, and you know, that's a whole other area to talk to. Another topic for another night is the crystal skull thing. I'm very interested in crystal skulls. I can't say if I think they're alien or not, though.
Now it's time for you to do some EVPs with one.
That is a dream. I would love to do that. I would love to put a recorder down, ask some questions, see if you got anything. If Joanne Parks ever tours in this area with the Max crystal, the Max skull, I probably could get her to do it because she's very open about it. I don't know the guy from the Mitchell Hedges. He had a house thing here down in I forgot where it was. It was down in Michigan City, and he let a lot of people. He spoke about the skull. They showed a video, and then they let everybody take a look. And you're not supposed to touch. Of course, my wife touched it. I'm like, what are you doing? You know, she couldn't resist. You know, that thing's priceless. You don't touch it. All right. Let's see. So we talked about some alien encounters. There's the one. Where is the one I want to find? It's a one from the 90s. It's been around for a long time. Where is it?
Oh, Reptilian Miley Cyrus. I believe that one.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get it. We're gonna get in that in a minute. I want to get a couple more alien things, and we'll talk a little bit about all the reptilian stuff out there. That's a whole other aspect to it.
I think she's part Yeti, also with the furry armpit thing.
Honestly, there's a reptilian video for every celebrity politician out there.
Absolutely.
On both sides, Republican, Democrat, and every kind of celebrity out there, especially the obnoxious ones. The very obnoxious ones all seem to have the reptilian videos, from Kanye West to Beyonce and Miley Cyrus, I think, are some of the most popular ones. All right, here. This is called the McPherson tapes, and this was a family get together, and UFO lands, and the aliens attack and abduct them. Why am I no Valium?
The McPhersons were abducted by extraterrestrials. My deputy found the tape at the McPherson place, and the McPhersons haven't been heard from since. Now, beyond that, I have no comments.
Copies of this videotape began to circulate among UFO enthusiasts. It begins with a birthday party, obviously shot on home video. But then, the party takes a strange turn. A power outage and a flash of light cause the men to investigate an apparent plane crash on the other side of the hill.
It's a spaceship, Mike. I know it is. No way. It's not a spaceship. Holy dead. Holy guys, I'm zoomed in. It's a spaceship.
Moments later, the UFO's occupants emerge.
Holy don't look at us. Get the here.
For 60 terrifying minutes, the panic-stricken family fights off the invading aliens. The home video ends abruptly as the aliens enter the family's home and apparently abduct them.
I always thought that's shenanigans, but nothing else has come out about that one. But I saw that one years ago, the McPherson story, and yeah, I'd be cussing a lot.
Well, the found footage from the Blair Witch, that was definitely a real thing too.
Right. That's what it reminded me of, though, when I first saw that. It was like, oh, is this going to be another kind of Blair Witch, but with aliens? But they never did anything else with it. All right, so we're going to move into we're just talking about the reptilian factor. There's many, well, maybe we'll start with the different species of aliens before I get into this whole reptilian thing. Let me get to that. That should be down here.
We need to know what we're dealing with.
Right. I got a number of different ones. I'm going to try to find a good one here of alien species. I got a lot of stuff on here. Like I said, this is going to be multiple shows. All right, 27 alien species and counting. There's 57 alien species and counting. All these are somewhat long. Let me see about doing maybe just the 27 alien species one. Yeah, this is only 3 minutes. This will be good, I think.
Hey, I know I only have like 15
There's
seconds.
one.
Let you know that the U.S. Open starts June 18th, and it's going to be live on.
The Arcturians. Amphibians, or pitchers who can throw with both arms. That's a local swing.
Yeah.
Shadow people, that's can fall in that range. Star Child reconstructed, I guess this is an image of it. Gray 1. Bigfoot, some consider. There's been Bigfoot sightings with grays and stuff like that, I have to say. I thought that was from Avatar, but okay.
Yeah, that's got James Cameron suing.
Arcturians 2. The mantis aliens related to the grays. Mantis humanoid. Tall grays.
That would be the creepy one.
Yeah. This would be gray number.
Gray.
Short grays. The negative grays from the Droid system or something like that. These aliens don't have nipples. Titanium. Oh no, those are bodysuits, sorry. The Nuki reptilians. Nuki. I was saying it wrong. I watch Ancient Aliens all the time. How can I not say that? Say that right for me. The Nuki. I watch Ancient Aliens.
It was Xander Kai or something.
Or I watch. God dang it! I can't say it. I watch Ancient Aliens like all the day.
We need the orange guy with the puffy hair to tell us.
Right. All right. Men in Black. We got Men in Black. And, you know, they say they're
aliens now.
My favorite, reptilians. Receding hairline aliens. No, the Humanites. I've never heard of them. The Nordic, also called the Blondes. Nazis with
Norse people.
The Nakan Giants. I don't even know what the hell that is.
Chameleoids.
Rods. I want to have a whole night on the rod phenomenon.
Rods and cones, yeah.
Yeah, rods and cones. It's the whole thing. But they say that could be alien. To me, that's more cryptoid, but okay. Chameleon 2. All right, whatever. That's just scary. Alpha Draconian. She's hot.
Absolutely. It's Liv Tyler.
It does look like her with blonde hair. I can't even say what they're saying. Already Nordic something. I don't know. Beltarians. alien hybrids or black-eyed kids.
Otherwise known as goths with contact lenses.
Right. Yeah, it's the whole black-eyed kids thing going around. I wonder how many goth kids are like, let's go prank this house and get some black contact lenses. Look up and just totally freak out the people. I'm like, yeah, you might get shot, but
exactly.
That's
the other thing with all the prank videos, the aliens, the killer clown, the everything else, the zombies. I am just to this day amazed that somebody hasn't shot one of them.
Right.
Well, supposedly it did happen in China. So
yeah. All right, so the whole reptilian thing, you can't get into reptilians without mentioning David Icke. Everybody blames David Icke for the whole reptilian phenomenon, but I have to defend him a little bit on that because, I mean, pictures and encounters with reptilian aliens go back to the 30s and 40s for the, the whole UFO abduction things. Actually, there are reptilian encounters that go back before David Icke ever talked about them. And then you can go back to the ancient alien stuff and a lot of reptilian like creatures involved in that. I've always pointed to, and David Icke points this out. If you read his books, and I'll admit I bought David Icke books, even though I think he's a total ass. I'll admit I gave him money and I bought his books a long time ago. And I read them. There's a lot. He does a lot of stuff in his books about history and going back, and he molds it to his philosophy and stuff like that. But there is still interesting stuff that he points out, especially when he talks about history and, like dragons. Dragons exist in so many different cultures, and the idea of serpents and that.
I just was saying that earlier.
Yeah, and that ancient aliens were reptilian and other things, but that's a lot of what his books just do. This whole all of his books are the same book, by the way. If any of you are gonna go buy David Icke's book, just buy one. They're really all the same thing, just regurgitated, and they're huge and expensive. And he's making his money on the talk circuit and selling his books. But there is something to what a lot he talks about. That's why I bought his books. I was like, I researched this stuff, so I bought into it. And I didn't buy into even reading them. I didn't buy into everything he's saying, but I do find it very interesting. So we're gonna start off with David Icke's Best Reptilian Shape Shifting compilation, because he believes that our power elite and celebrities are reptilian shapeshifters, that they are almost like demons in a sense. They possess the human body, and it goes down through bloodlines and stuff, and that these people can shapeshift into reptilians. And he's talking about this guy's eyes being like reptilian eyes. I will admit, he's got some freaky eyes. But I would want to see more videos of him.
Let me see one that's not overexposed.
Right, exactly. They were like, why does his skin look like this way? I'm like, because it's camera exposure.
No, the ending close up there, the pupil extended beyond the eyelid. So
this guy fucking with the cameraman, excuse my French, sorry. He actually does freak me out. When I first saw this, I'm like, okay, this guy freaks me out. And when they zoom into it, you'll see why. He's on drugs for sure, I'm sure. Or drunk off his ass, I don't know. The man's got some gnarly teeth, man. I'm not even sure what he was trying to do. Like, you see people mess with that, just freaky looking. He's just freaky looking. He scares the crap out of me. They say it shows the shape shifting of his teeth and that. I just think he has gnarly teeth, and the image is so bad that it just blurs,
That's exactly it. It's called motion blur.
But he freaks the hell out of me, man.
Oh yeah, he's definitely got an issue.
Yeah.
Voted most likely to have children in his basement.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. And they say that it's his thighs that are slitting and changing, and his teeth changing. But is this guy anybody famous or celebrity or a royal bloodline? Like David Icke says? No, he's just some fool in the background, you know? All right, here's some models, reptilian models. And did you ever watch V?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I loved V when I was a kid, and then too bad the remake didn't go far, but people in the UFO field and David Icke say they shut down V because, you know, it's getting too close to the truth. Now that's her throat they're talking about, like this thing here. That's totally like V, isn't it? Remember, like she swallows the gerbil.
I'm more inclined to think it's an Adam's apple, and that's scary alone.
I'm just gonna point out, like, are you sure that's a girl? I don't know what they're trying to prove here at this point. I don't know. What's reptilian about?
Something about her nose because emotion blur.
It's just a motion blur. You know, I mean, like, yeah, she kind of looks like a wicked witch, you know, in the blur image. That's going to happen. You can do that with anything. I can recreate that. Now, it's her skin changing, they say, but I say it's lighting, just reflecting off her makeup and that there. They say this here is like her true reptilian form coming through in her eyes. I'm like, yeah, no, I don't see anything convincing about that. And when you look at all these videos, they got so many videos, reptilian shape-shifting videos. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. There's a ton of them where people just put in the, oh yeah, her tongue. Yeah. Oh, I don't know how adult we want to get about this, about talking about her tongue, but you'll see a lot of videos where they clip over, like the eyes will like flinch to a reptilian eye really quick. Well, that's CG. That's just somebody putting the eyes over somebody's eyes. There's a billion of those out there, especially with celebrities and politicians. Reality up to you. Please wake up, people. David Icke is so passionate and aggressive about his thing too. And if anybody wants to get into David Icke, I urge you to go back to one of his first or coming out videos, I should call them, when he wore a whole he talks about it in his book. He admits talking about how he kind of lost his mind for a little while. But when he first came out, like about his feelings about the paranormal and aliens and stuff, he was a soccer sports commentator, and he decided to go on air on an interview, and he wears this whole teal, like blue jumpsuit, and he just starts trying to talk about his spiritual awakening and contact and all this stuff. And he gets laughed at on stage. It's kind of sad. But you can see how he's out, you know, not in the right state of mind, at least in the beginning of things. And he does admit that in his book, but man, it makes you like, you really want to listen to this guy? He's not all there. It's back from the 80s. You gotta find it. I should find that for tonight. Maybe we'll have a whole David Icke, whole reptilian night. We'll definitely play that to get some perspective on him. Let's see. Let's get some more good. I had some good reptilians. We don't want to get more David Icke. Let's go down here. 7 signs you're dating a reptilian shapeshifter.
We better watch this one just in case.
Okay, we better watch this one so you know, in case you're dating a reptilian shapeshifter.
I just don't want to give any tells. I want to make sure I know how to cover it up.
Wait 150 years with Bertolli by submitting your
Reptile wins.
Fact. I thought they were from Zeta to Reticuli, but all right. Yeah. We want to get down to the 7 things here. Let's get down to the 7 things. Oh, she's scary.
Reptile.
So Number 7, emotion. Reptiles are cold-blooded and do not feel emotion. I've dated a few of those. Does your partner lack emotion? Caring, loving, sometimes cold, lack sympathy, or cold, calculating. Temperature. Reptiles are often cold-blooded or heterosymmetric. This means they cannot control their temperature. Does your partner often feel too cold or too hot? That means my great grandma was a reptile. She always had the heat on 85.
Could also mean they're old or female.
Oral hygiene. The mouth of a reptile is usually filled with bacteria. They bring up the Komodo dragon, of course. Its flesh-eating bite. Does your partner have bad breath? What the hell is that? Spent a long time brushing.
Also, okay, so be British and don't brush your teeth. That's
Number 4, feet. Are they wet?
If they have feet.
It seems a bit obvious, but okay. They have web feet, they're definitely reptilian. Number 3, the moon? Oh yeah. The moon is reptilian space station. Once a month, does your partner act unusual or irrational?
So all women are reptilian.
Yeah, that was like, boy, you get in trouble with that one real bad. And I won't talk any further. Number 2, shape-shifting. Reptilians have shape-shifting abilities. There's Beyonce. Does your partner spend a lot of time, what's it say here?
Shape-shifting.
Changing their appearance. This is an attack on women. All women.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, actually, who are they showing here? It wasn't a woman, it was a man. But question, do they actually need alter their appearance? And number 1, here, what's number 1? Wait, before we get to number,
there's got to be the guys.
Mention. Well, they got more. Abnormally secret or private. Long forked tongue. Reptile. Scaly skin. Hey, man, that's not fair. I got psoriasis, man. Little large appetite, fangs. Number 1, sex. Sex is always number 1. Does your partner refer to sex as breeding? I have some gay friends refer to it as that. Do they breed in these positions? The sex emotionalist. Reptilian booty. Okay, that's enough of that.
Wow.
Besides, your partner might be a reptilian. All right, so I wanted actually, there's one. Let me see. There's some stuff around Obama and the people around him. There's some reptilian stuff I wanted to play, of course. Oh, come on. Filled up like this kind of reptilian stuff.
You're losing all of the audience now with this show. You realize that all of them have now lost total faith in this.
Oh, come on. It's Paranormal Soup. We're going to have some fun, too, you know? There's Obama turns in reptilian, but hold on. There's actually one that's actually kind of freaky of a guy working. I know I put this on here.
Wow, he's still going, huh?
Oh, yeah. He's a little Energizer Bunny. You hear my son in the background. Oh, God.
Could be an alien.
No, he gets that from me, man. Oh, I'm missing it. I see I put videos on here and then sometimes they just disappear and it sucks. Maybe it's because the government took it away. was
or because you have 400 of them up here.
Oh yeah. Dang it, that sucks. Because I had this really good one. A guy working Secret Service for Obama. He looks really freaky. Like some of the videos, and there's multiple angles of him, and they took it off. It was on here. Yeah, totally gone. Heck, a lot of my
So you got to search it out again.
I'm not even sure what to do. What to put in. Let's see. Yeah.
Obama Secret Service alien.
Yeah. I'll put reptilians. What pulls it up a lot of time. Reptilian shapeshifter. Let's see if we pull up this really quick so we can. There it is. Here it is. See, they took this off my feed, but here it is. You see, I watched it. Oh, he's upset about something. I'm going to turn the mic off for a second.
During Barack Obama's speech at 2012 APAC Policy Conference at the Washington Convention Center, the camera spotted a very odd individual, who may be either with the U.S. Secret Service, or with the Israels, and could be a strong evidence of a shapeshifter alien humanoid working for the powers that be. High definition video during an event
It's
of
not
the
that guy,
Zionist
but
cabal.
4 years ago, I stood before you and said that Israel's security is sacrosanct.
That guy they're
It
highlighting,
is
obviously.
non-negotiable. That belief has guided my actions as president.
Even though at first sight he looks just like the average Secret Service spook, a series of odd features on his head, face, plus a very strange behavior and creepy movements, suggest something else. But due the low lighting in half the amphitheater, he would pass unnoticed or regarded as a normal human being by the crowd, and everybody who watched this video, if it was not by the camera of the Jewish News One, which caught him from another angle apparently shape-shifting into some sort of reptilian non-human form.
I say low quality, but it is freaky.
Holy crap, hold them.
Totally.
I'm getting my,
disregard all the distortions and image artifacts caused by post-edition zooming, and pay close attention to how his head features suddenly change. His ears, his nose, his chin, cheekbone, jaw and mouth are no longer looking human at all.
They're looking
That's
so
yeah.
what just happened?
There's another video out there. Somebody else involved with Obama that looks really freaky too. I don't know. I didn't see that
Did
on my
his
feed either.
shape-shifting device fail during Obama's speech, in the middle of an amphitheater crowded with people?
What's the
Is
device
he an
now?
actual reptilian humanoid? Is he one of the Anunnaki?
Anunnaki. They're Anunnaki. I
Is he
cannot
a
say.
tall gray bio-android, or what?
I think he's just a freaky looking dude.
Is that video evidence that the Illuminati elite is in bed with everyone?
That's when I get playback.
When my mic is, I wonder if you're picking it up from my headphones.
Good. If you look, you can see when your clock's down there in the corner.
Yeah.
So that's my back.
How about now? Is it better?
Yep. Still there.
Still there?
Yeah. If you watch the lights, your box, yeah, light up.
So I don't know why it comes and goes.
Yeah. To be intermittent.
Try it now.
It now. 1, 2. Nope. See, it's gone now. Nope. It's back.
Yeah, because I just realized I had to totally mute you from it to do it. Talk. Say something.
Saying something.
Nope.
Yeah, it comes later.
Yeah, it's just the feed completely. I don't know how to get rid of it.
Strange.
Otherwise, I won't hear you. And it comes and goes. That's what I don't get. Oh, here's one. Lee Rosenberg.
America, start your engines. NASCAR is back on NBC. The Coke Zero 400 Sunday, July 5th.
President of the United States, President Barack Obama.
Oh, there you go. Use his cell phone for the TV.
Right. I think this is the guy you first saw in that one video.
I think so. Oh, goodness, he's got his flash on too.
Yeah, you know, the way that the teeth look and everything, it's a video distortion. But I see so many of these on the web.
Well, yeah. PT Burns said it.
All right, so we did some reptilian shapeshifters, and we got about 15 minutes left. So now we're going to move into another aspect, is alien autopsy. You remember the original alien autopsy video?
Oh yeah. Did Jonathan Frakes hosted that, didn't he?
Yep.
Okay, yeah.
Exclusively Fox. Let me see if I can find the original one. And alien abductions is another one, but I think we kind of covered that with the McPherson thing. There's a bunch of videos of people claiming to capture alien abduction too, and that'll be a whole other subject for another night. Oh, come on. Okay, I think this here. Oh, this is like 20 minutes. Hold on. I had a shorter one. Should have made a separate folder for it. There we go. All right, let's try this one. Uh-oh. It is graphic. How do I've never seen this ever.
I want to poke the I want to see it button.
Okay. This was what, 94, 95, something like that? Yeah, it doesn't say on here. Supposedly of the Roswell aliens. Now, they say everything that was in here was dated to be correct in the video. Like, they crossed their T's and dotted their I's. Whoever, if they hoax this, they got everything accurately, time-wise correct. And the story goes is the guy who gave this footage out to Fox, sold it for probably a lot of money, said he was the original photographer, and it was all done on black and white because it's what they just wanted to get documented proof, documentation for whatever for later. And they had somebody else taking pictures because back then color photo was expensive, and you could not just develop color film on your own. You had to go get it developed, and they didn't want somebody else developing the film. So this is why it was black and white, no audio.
Because the government couldn't have that technology.
That's what I said about it. I'm like, oh, come on. But that's the reason that the guy gave. Let's fast forward to some of the juicier, gruesome stuff.
Oh, there's pups everywhere.
No kidding. I don't remember seeing this when I was watching it on my phone. All the pop-ups, but what the hell?
You're gonna have to turn that off in your settings where it's the annotations.
And this is them cutting it open and removing organs and all this stuff. And now every alien autopsy fake video since has tried to duplicate this. I remember when they did the whole special. Who was it? The special effects guru. He's dead now. James Winston, did like, you know, Terminator and Aliens and stuff like that.
Wilson, I thought.
I can't remember. Stan
Winston.
What is it?
Stan
Winston. Stan Winston. That's it. He came out. I remember when they did the whole special on Fox with that, really toting that video. Like, wow, it's, you know, I don't know how they would have done it. To me, I think Fox paid him a lot of money to say.
They paid a lot of money to do it.
Right. And, you know, I'm like, come on, man. I mean, that can definitely be done. They do it in movies all the time. If there's a will, there's a way. And there's money involved, there's definitely a will. All right, let's see. I got some more alien abduction stuff. Actually, the Russian stuff is pretty interesting. Let me get to that. KGV UFO and alien autopsy. So this has a UFO crash and it has this autopsy of a very little alien. Supposedly Russian footage of a UFO flying from a long time ago, I'm guessing. This, I don't know. I've seen this pop up on something else. So. Dead aliens on an aircraft, but I'm trying to get to the one that was shot in the 80s. This is an alien interview, but this came out recently came out. And I'm like, oh, it's CG, man. You know, like put all these filters on it, make it look like it's old.
If it says the silence is fallen.
Now this is one that came out years ago. This video, and I've always been interested in this. Supposedly this is a Russian UFO crash, and the soldiers are all coming up on it. Let me go ahead and mute the sound music here in the background.
Look tent.
That's the UFO. What's interesting about this video is this guy in the hat. I've seen a documentary on it. He's actually a real person that was involved in the Russian government. So that makes it somewhat interesting. Somewhat interesting. It's a small UFO though.
Looks, I don't know what pretty much like the one that was in Canada.
Yeah, well, that one looked bigger though from the perspective of it. But so this is a small UFO, and I guess supposedly now there's a footage of the autopsy of the alien. Then the aliens are small. But at the same time, I want to point out this too. There was a lot of motive on our side and on Russia's side to fake stuff on this. The government would actually fake a UFO thing, or fake stuff like that to scare the other side. Like, we got a UFO, you know, like we got UFO technology. Don't mess with us. It's very possible if you read into a lot of the weird crap our governments did and during the Cold War. Here's one of the alien autopsies. This looks like just a torso, like the head's missing. They just got the body and they're like dissecting it. Thought this one had the small little alien on it. Let me see. They do all kinds of stuff with it. I thought this was that. No, it's not. All right. That's a small torso. And they say this is video footage from a Russian captured alien, but I think it's CG. Where is it? I get it. There's the little alien one. I thought was interesting, creepy looking. Let's see. Here we go. I think this is it.
Oh, now they're doing survey ads.
Back in 1969, the Russian KGB rescued a ship shot down probably by their fighters that crashed in a forest in the north. The small ship was found several hundred small human beings that you will see below. So they're going to say it's this UFO we just saw, okay? Which, to me, this footage has been out for a while, but this new footage of the alien autopsy, these little aliens, newer. And I think they're just taking this footage that's been out for a long time and tying it to whoever's made this alien autopsy video. Let me fast forward to that. They're going to show a lot of this same stuff again. All right, here we go. They really did a good job, except for being so small. They did a good job, if this is hoax, you know, of making this seem very flesh-like and very real looking. But if aliens are this small, I'm going to boot them. They're very weird. See if I can get to the part where they start cutting them open. And you know, being a hoax, I could see this being a hoax because, like, oh, we want to make an alien autopsy and we want to make this creature and we want to make it look real. But like, man, I can't. They can't make it that big, so they go for the little.
Yeah. The budget's way too much.
But it's pretty good. I mean, it looks pretty real. But that's basically what they do. They start taking all of his organs out and doing stuff. You can find this top secret KGB files, alien autopsy, Russia, 1969. And they claim this is attached to that other video footage that's been out for a long time of the crashed Russian UFO. And you know, and that Russian UFO, to me, like, I thought, well, that's not very big. So if there was aliens in it, they're not very big. And well, here they are. It's kind of small.
He makes a wrong the aliens knows lights as a buzzer.
Oop. Lost. There we go. All right. So about 2 minutes till I'm going to switch the camera, switch to the regular show. Hold on. Get this back. All right. So we saw some crazy stuff tonight. There's so much out there. And we didn't even cover some of the classic stuff like Bob Lazar. You know who Bob Lazar is?
No, I don't.
Go check. Bob Lazar was the big one that started the whole Area 51 big time. And that's not that people didn't know about Area 51, but it really got out when Bob Lazar claimed to be an employee at Area 51 and talked about UFOs and Element 115 fueling it before Element 115 was actually discovered. There's there's that aspect. There's the Jim Sparks abductions. Then you go back to the abductions all the way back to Benny and Barney Hill. There's so much stuff out there. The UFO phenomenon is huge, and being a ghost hunter, I'll admit it's bigger than ghost hunting. It's there's so many aspects to it. You could go on forever on different tangents of different routes and subcategories that connect to the aliens, and like we were talking about conspiracy theories and that, how they connect back all to the alien and alien agenda and stuff like that.
Beyond that, I'll tell you a subject for an upcoming show.
Mm-hmm.
Be Project Stargate. And
Project Stargate. Yep. Project Stargate, and then it moved. There's all these different ones. Project Blue Fly was recovery of crashed UFOs. Stargate was what the
remote viewing.
Remote viewing, right? Remote viewing.
And remote viewing and remote assassination, I think, was also tied with Stargate, because that's your men who stare at goats thing.
Yeah. And again, that all goes back to the Cold War and what we were trying to do to spook out or mind psych out the Russians, and them doing it back to us. Them faking psychic stuff and faking stuff to say that they could do all this stuff, and then so we have to look into it. We looked into remote viewing because the Russians were. Right. We wouldn't want to be missing out on something, and we spent a lot of money on it and then just dumped it. And there's a lot of guys out there that claim to work for the remote viewing, and some evidence shows that they did work for the government and they're still doing it. But there's all these subjects, and they have their own opinions on UFOs too. Remote viewers, by the way, they've remote viewed aliens. I'm sure the government didn't like that. It's well, I always say the term rabbit hole. You're going to go down the rabbit hole when you start looking into UFOs and aliens, and the theories are abundant and the stories are crazy and far out there. My favorite stories are Fire in the Sky. What's the guy's name? I can't think of the guy's name, but you'll see the movie Fire in the Sky about a real guy who got abducted and went missing for a few days, and there was a police investigation. His friends they were loggers out in the woods, were all questioned and wondered if they killed him, and then he shows up.
Right.
I can't believe I can't think of his name right now. It's famous.
I thought it was Barney something.
No, that's Barney. You're thinking Barney Hill, the original Betty and Barney Hill case. That's another good one. I always love the Benny and Barney Hill case. Check into that. That's one of the early abduction cases that was documented.
Yeah, that was kind of the start of it.
That was the start of it. And what was interesting about Benny and Barney Hill is they were a white and black couple. They already had a lot going against them when it came to society.
Absolutely.
They had no reason to come out and say that and claim any of this, and they didn't want to be a part of it, and it just happened to them. They definitely didn't want to come out and talk about it. They were black and white couple in the 60s. They already got enough against them.
The other theories on that one are that they were actually victims of hypnotic suggestion.
That's the main skepticism towards them, is that was the beginning of the whole hypnosis, suggestions and an alien abduction, and it's all hypnotherapists. But there's evidence. If you watch this documentary, like they have her dress from the night of her niece still has the dress that she wore the night of the abduction, and there's evidence on that dress and radioactive evidence too. They've tested it. So I love the Benny and Barney Hill case. The movie Fire in the Sky was based off of. I love that. There's a lot of good stuff. There's definitely something to the phenomenon. There's something going on. I'm not saying I'm like a huge believer, but I am a believer that there's something going on. I believe definitely have a lot of belief in the ancient aliens theory. And I believe that way before Ancient Aliens was on the History Channel. A lot of the stuff they said, I already knew all that. And there's stuff they say that I didn't know, but there's a lot of evidence in it, and it's laughed at, ignored. The media sometimes gets on the bandwagon when the big UFO thing happens. There was a couple shows back, or my first shows, we talked about the San Francisco sighting. Recently, the big lights in the sky. The media will jump on board for a little bit, for a day or two, with the sighting. Whatever's trending, and then it's gone. And that's how it goes in UFO. We just, a big case comes out and it just gets lost in the time. So for the people who are still following the stories, so the general public just think, oh, it's a bunch of UFO nuts out there. But there's some credible people, if you look into it, that have had these experiences, including presidents. Jimmy Carter, he saw a UFO and admitted it publicly. And then in his campaign for president, he said he would actually come out about UFOs. He would try to find out and get down to the truth of it. And then nothing ever happened. And then later, years later after his presidency, when asked, why didn't you come out about it? There's actually a video after there. If you find it, I'll have that on one night. He actually doesn't say anything, and his eyes kind of get watery, and he just avoids the topic completely. Like,
he was told to shut up.
Right. You know, he got in there and then learned some secret and won't talk about it. You know, and his presidency didn't last very long either. No. And actually, one of the famous UFO sightings over Washington was during his presidency too. And you wonder if the little aliens came and hovered over Washington D.C. and said, "Here we are, and you need to shut the hell up. You're not going to tell anybody." You know, the Obama administration's taken a very hard line, like, no, you know, there's no such thing as UFOs or aliens. The Clinton administration, Clinton was interested in it and sent one of his cronies out to kind of look into it and get some information. So Clinton had an interest in it, but they didn't come up with much, supposedly, on it. And recently, this last year, Clinton even joked about it on like David Letterman or something like that. But you know, there's credible people out there. The ones I'm interested in are the astronauts, like Gordon Cooper. He's got some great stories. Gordon Cooper, before he was an astronaut, working on a military base, swears to God, and a UFO came and landed on the base there. He had film footage of it, and then the government took it all. And everybody shut up. I have that video. Minister of Defense. I do have that on here. I didn't run out of time, but I will play that night. I got the Canadian Prime Minister. There's video of him. He testified that the governments are keeping it secret. So, you know, you got somebody, you know, in that high position, yeah, they're retired, but they come out and they say, you know, this is real. There's really being kept secret. That's going to raise some eyebrows, you know, when somebody that big comes out and says that. And then you get like French governments come out and said that they believe it's being kept secret. If you read right now too, the whole Snowden thing, Edward Snowden, Edward Snowden, a lot of the stuff he released and has talked about, and they don't talk about that. You notice they never mention this on the main media coverage about it. Edward Snowden, they never mention this, but if you look into it, the stuff he said, there's stuff he's talked about aliens, that the government's hiding aliens, but they never talk about that. Yeah, they never talk about it in the media. They really disgrace. They never even mention it once, but it's out there. That some of the stuff he's talked about in interviews, and that you know, that he ran across stuff that the government's hiding about aliens. You know, all the stuff that he leaked, and that he leaked some of the stuff to Russia or whatever. But and then Russia, recently I've seen a lot of articles talked out that say Russia's going to come out about UFOs and aliens if our government doesn't come out about it. That's a new one that is supposedly going to because the relationship. Well,
you think WikiLeaks would have something too?
Well, some of that Snowden stuff on WikiLeaks did mention aliens. That's where it started coming out. Oh, okay. And then we talked about earlier the Pope. You know, they're saying the Pope might come out about it. Is there ever going to be one big day where they will reveal it? I don't know. It's hard for me to imagine. If they kept it this secret long, they'll probably just keep keeping it secret, unless they're absolutely forced to. I don't agree with our government keeping it secret, maybe because I don't know all the details of why, but I do believe our government's keeping it secret. I personally believe that. I think there's a lot of evidence to show they've covered up stuff. I think NASA constantly is trying to cover up stuff. I didn't get to it tonight. There's a good video out there of a woman astronaut who sees something and goes, "Oh my God," and you hear her reprimand her, like tell her, you know, don't talk, you know, quiet. You know, so, you know, they don't like it. They don't want to talk about it. And it could be too, that's just them spotting secret military aircraft. But do you think the military would be known to stay the heck away from any of the NASA stuff going on?
See, I think the NASA guys would bust that out there because there's their justification for whatever budget they want. They say, look, here's the proof. It's there.
Yeah.
They're here to protect you from it.
But if NASA was always built as a front, you know what I'm saying, as a front, it's not real. In a sense, you know, because we're talking about faking stuff on the moon. I'm not saying they didn't go to the moon, but we cut footage, stuff like that. NASA's been playing along from the very beginning. That's what the conspiracy theorists would say.
Right. Well, I thoroughly believe that with their height of the Cold War and everything else going on, that part of the moon landing footage was fake. I believe we win, but I also believe that there was a backup saying, what if they crash? We can't show that.
Right. And yeah, I think it's possible we didn't go the first time that they say we did.
I think we did. But I think it's B-roll. You know, that was the safety. The what happens if.
And yeah, you go look into the whole we didn't land on the moon stuff, and that's another rabbit hole to go down to. But the other thing is a lot of stuff that if the aliens are here, you know, and if aliens are here, I definitely think they had a base on the moon, because it just be the most logical place to set up and monitor us, besides having places on the ocean too. But the ocean can't see stuff. You can't, you know, if you really want to monitor us, or if you ever had to have a plan to, to attack us or anything like that, or control us, the moon would be a great place to set up. And if we ever want to explore space, that's where we should be setting up a base and launching from. So the moon stuff fascinates me. There's a documentary on Netflix you can find about all the NASA footage from the moon. I'm going to get a whole night on just NASA and the moon and the stuff that they don't want people to see, but it's real NASA footage, and you will see UFOs in it and stuff from, you know, when the astronauts are there, and you'll hear the people, mission control responding about it too. And this stuff's just come out in the last few years, but it has come out from NASA, and not that they wanted to. It's just people have gotten the feeds and stuff's leaked out, and you can't deny it's from the missions because it's the same footage and stuff. That now it's just not cut. They didn't cut the stuff out. So
yeah, there's the challenge to anonymous. Yeah, you'll do some super hacking, find proof.
Right. Yeah. I don't want to see anonymous do that. Find out about aliens, you guys. All right, but anyways, we're gonna end the night. We're gonna have a lot more episodes in the future about aliens, and I want to get more specific topics. Like we'll have a whole night on just reptilians, like we were talking about. We'll have a whole night on aliens on the moon. I definitely want to do an ancient aliens night. A lot of stuff out there on ancient aliens. So, all right. Thanks for coming on, Todd, and sticking around and watching the crazy.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. All right. Then next week, though, I want to do evidence again. I want to try. I got hopefully some stuff from Todd's last thing, some other older stuff I want to play, and Judy will be on, and hopefully maybe she's got some stuff from your place.
Yeah, I'm intrigued. I want to know if there's something new.
And I'm hoping I can get some. I've been talking to some other investigators across the country. Get a couple people on here with their own evidence. And if you are listening to this and you're an investigator and you have your own evidence and you want to play it on the show or join us on the show and play it, email me at this email you see here on the screen, jblandmidwestparanormal@hotmail.com, and we'll try to get you on the show hopefully by next week. So if you see this hopefully soon, and you can get give me your info, and we can work together and try to get you on. This is a forum for paranormal. Hey, if you got some UFO stuff too, I'll get you on a UFO episode. That I'd love to hear it. A real person had their own UFO footage and get them on here.
I promise I won't debunk you too hard.
Yeah, we're gonna be nice too. We're not gonna rip somebody a shred with their evidence. We're gonna let the audience make their own decisions on that. This is an open forum for evidence for people. So if you're the small guy in the paranormal, you got this great evidence, and you don't even know where to play it for, come on my show. We're going to talk about it. This is a place to discuss. If you want to come on and just talk because you're interested in the subject or you're an investigator, let me know. Get a hold of me. Again, jblandmidwestparanormal@hotmail.com. And you can read it right there, and you can find my links and stuff. And also our webpage, mwpparanormalsoup.com. There's also a little email thing there you can fill out and email me through. All right, man. I'm also picking up some weird distortion. Are you hearing that?
No, maybe you got UFO hovering up of your house.
All right. Well, I'm going to end the night. Thanks, Todd. Next week again, evidence. Hopefully we'll do some EVPs with my new sound setup, and hopefully you don't have any technical problems. All right, man. We're at the end of the night with my favorite song to end it with. It's called Last Request. I did with my band Interstate. Start playing the song now. Again, contact me if you got evidence. You want to come on the show. I love to have investigators on the show and show their evidence. This is what I'm doing it for. So contact me, guys. Let me know if you're watching this and you're an investigator and you got something you want to share. This is your forum. This is your place to come to do it. All right, guys. Good night. See you next Sunday, 10 p.m. to midnight Central Time.
Hold the hand that prays, all my thoughts ablaze. Am I still awake when you get the time? Leave your soul behind, all the signs align. Am I still gonna find? Away where silence holds the day, just the wind is with the living. Am I on my
Thank you guys again for listening. Remember, next Sunday, 10 p.m. to midnight, we're going to do more paranormal evidence. Going to have EVPs. So hope to see you then. Remember, contact me at jblandmidwestparanormal@hotmail.com and visit our website at mwpparanormalsoup.com. Good night, guys. Thanks for listening.